All right, so we're starting Unit 2, and topic 2.1 is just starting to ask, are variables related? So our objective is to identify questions to be answered about possible relationships in data. Now in statistics, some of the most interesting questions are those that ask about relationships between two variables, right? So that's how you're going to know, because the question is going to include some sort of description of two different variables. And I'm going to show you a couple examples in a minute. All right, so here I've posed a statistical question, and what we want to do is identify the two variables and also their type. Okay, is it categorical or quantitative? Now, do sophomores have higher GPAs than seniors in high school? All right, so I have this bubble diagram, and so we'll write the variables within each bubble. The dashed line just indicates there may be a possible relationship between these two, right? We haven't collected any data yet, we're just posing the question. Okay. So that's also the reason why there's a question mark, because we don't know whether there's a relationship. So in this statistical question, one of the variables is grade level. That would be sophomore versus senior, okay? And that's categorical because we would record that with a label or text. And the other variable is GPA, and that is definitely quantitative. You record it with a number. All right. So this question is asking us to explore the relationship between a categorical variable and a quantitative variable. All right, this question says, what is the relationship between the hours a student works and their GPA? All right, so this time, one of the variables is hours worked, which is quantitative, right? It's recorded with a number. And the other variable is GPA, again, quantitative. So this, again, is a statistical question looking at the relationship between two variables. It's just now both variables are quantitative. Okay? You may recall the last example was one categorical and one quantitative. And then in this last question, are college athletes more likely than non-athletes to receive academic advising? So our first variable is athlete status, and that's categorical. You're an athlete or a non-athlete, okay, yes or no. And then the second variable is advising status, right? You receive it or you don't receive it, another yes, no, categorical. So I think the point that I wanted to make here is that when we're wanting to investigate relationships, we can do it with all different variable types. We can look for relationships between two categorical variables, between two quantitative variables, or between a categorical and a quantitative.